and how to do it safely. Well, we have trading bots that can help you give you a clue and direction on creating strategies and something like that.
Hmm.
I think that'd be good. But
Yeah.
have that pitch out there with a question.
Yeah, that makes sense. You'll start with a question. I think start with a question and then also like I was saying, we can't be zoomed in on the person, right? I think you're right. Person should be in the scene,
Yeah.
right? Because you
No,
people
yeah,
respond to people better, right?
right. Because
So I
people
think a
want to
person
know
should be in the scene,
because
but
people
I
want to know
don't
it's
think it
real,
should be a
right?
talking head, you know?
Yeah.
What was that?
People want to know that it's real because right now we got so much AI stuff. Honestly, when I see something that's AI right away, I just pass it.
Hmm.
I really do. I don't even give it a second chance. Honestly just clips it real fast. Unless it has a real catchy phrase for me, but honestly, like I'm gonna say like 90% of them I'm swiping off.
So
Swiping.
so I'll challenge you on that for a second, okay?
Oh,
My guess is that you are not turned off by the AI video. You are turned off by crappy AI videos.
that's true.
Right? And there's a
Yes.
difference, right?
Yes, that's
Because
true.
like a crappy AI video has a bad voice that's not expressive, that's not changing tonality or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably turned off by something that has an obvious AI human face because you feel like it just doesn't jive well, right? And I think it's the same reason why you don't like AI is the same reason why you don't like people that are not very expressive. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
Right? Because
No,
it
that's
could just
that's
as
right on
easily
it.
be like a robotic person. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Right? And you'd
Yeah,
probably
no, it
just
is.
as quickly turn away from that. Right?
Yeah.
So I think we need like expressiveness in the voice. I think showing the like a talking head is quite difficult because it's too difficult to get the expressions right. So we need to be zoomed out a bit. It's like a person in a scene, like either on the trading floor at the New York Stock Exchange or something like that, or like on a computer trading, or like even
Honestly,
something wilder,
you
like
know what also
in
would
Times
work, honestly?
Square, you know? What was that?
You know what also catch me when I see a person actually just walking in the forest and they're just recording walking
Oh, that
as
makes
they
sense.
as,
Yeah,
as
just
they,
like a
as
walking
they ask a
video.
question, as they ask a
Yeah.
question, because I'm just like, okay, what are they doing? And then they're asking this question and it's like, oh, okay, I'm a little interested now. But
You're right. There are a lot of finance videos like that. Just the guy just like walking down the street, you know?
yeah, walking down in the forest or something and just ask a simple question and then it switches off to the information and technical stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I actually used to record videos like that. It's very time consuming making your own videos. That's why I'm trying to figure out how to do this with AI.
Oh,
Because
okay.
like for me to record these videos myself it was so time consuming. It takes like easily 2 hours a day to do this stuff. Right? But if we can make this work well with AI, even if today it's not perfect, it will get better, right? Then this is a much better long-term pipeline, I think,
Mhm.
than like relying on a human to do this,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, and I think another really important thing is to use a good AI model, right? Like using a crappy AI model to make the video is not good. So something like a really good one, like a C Dance, I think is really good. I know Artlist has some really good ones, but I think they're all available on. I think we're using Runway ML.
Well,
There's a
I'm gonna
bunch
I'm
of
gonna
different
I'm gonna
AI
I'm gonna
models
make this
available there.
suggestion too. Okay.
Yeah,
Majority of your customers are going to be men. So an attractive
absolutely.
female would be it.
Yeah, an attractive girl. Yeah,
Yes.
I actually agree with. I actually was telling
I,
that to
I'm
one of our interns.
I'm gonna tell you right now it's gonna work. It's
Yeah,
gonna catch them out
probably.
because that's what's
I
gonna
think you're
go.
right.
Because most of your
I watch a
customers,
couple of videos like that, you know?
yeah, and I'm like, oh, what you got to say,
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm blanking out the obvious.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. There's one girl that I actually started watching. There's one girl that went really popular, Cleo Abrams. She just went super viral. She's like really attractive girl that talks about like science and technology. And that's
Uh-huh.
just like huge. The channel just went freaking vertical. Like I don't know if you've seen her before, but she basically didn't exist like a year or two ago, and now she like went vertical, and now it's just like everywhere. She gets like millions of views on all her videos. And then there's another girl that's like this ginger. She has um like I guess orange-ish sort of hair, right? Very
Uh-huh.
attractive girl as well. And she talks about like tech and finance news, right? And she gets tons of views. Again, when I started watching her like a couple weeks ago, and you could see immediately going up, by the way, like videos of her when I started watching her maybe a month or two or three ago, like it was very recent, maybe 3 months ago. She was getting maybe 20 likes a video. Now, 3 months later, it's up to 500 likes a video.
Oh yeah, I
Like
believe it.
crazy growth. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I think I agree with you. So like maybe an attractive female would make sense. And she records very simple videos. She's like literally just lays down on her bed and just talks to the
Well,
camera. You know what
I
I
have a
mean?
niece and she is very gorgeous and she should be a
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
She can do it. Huh? You know,
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so I bet you we could use AI to do this. I mean, like again, I think using humans is probably the better way to do it now, but it is significantly more expensive and more difficult to do with
yeah,
real humans. And in 6 months, that's gonna be changed anyways, right? So we might as well do the AI thing for the beginning. But I think we need to make sure that we do AI videos that don't look like AI videos, right? Which means a really good AI model for
yeah,
generating the videos, and then not having a talking head. You should not be talking straight at the camera because it's too easy to tell that it's AI because the expressions are going to be wrong and all that, or just too monotone. I think
yeah.
it should be a human in a scene of some sort,
Mm.
right? Either on the trading floor or in front of a computer or walking through the forest, even like you're saying, right? Like I think something like that would make more sense. I think
Yeah,
you're
I
right. Even
think,
like someone on a bike, right? Or
yeah,
you're
because
right,
I
and
mean,
probably an attractive female. You're probably right about that, actually.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean something that catches your eye, and then all of a sudden she asks this question and puts you to think, like, oh, what? Okay, let me interested. Now I'm interested. Let me get some
Yeah.
more into, you know,
Yeah. It would actually be pretty interesting. We could do with AI, you can make like AI avatars, right? So you can make like this girl that has a specific look to her, right? And then I think we can make a voice specific for her on 11 Labs. So it's a consistent voice, right, from 11 Labs. And then, and they actually have really, really good voices. Like they're way better than OpenAI, the one that I was showing. You could get it more expressive, I think, maybe, right? But that's like their specialty, right? And then we have an image of a girl, probably from different perspectives. We could probably make those images first. So now we have like this is the AI, this is the avatar, right? And then I think we need to use like a really good AI model for making the videos, which I think Google Omni is probably the best one right now. And I don't know if the APIs are available yet for Google Omni, but that one is probably the best model to use. It'd be great to see if we have the API available. Okay, cool. So I recorded all that. I'm going to give that to Codex here. Okay, please research all of this in a lot of detail. Again, stop working right now. Just do all this research, really think all this stuff through, research everything, and then let's talk about a game plan, right? How is this going to work? How is this going to work? Make sure it's very well researched, and then let's talk about it. Show me the full and detailed game plan, like type it out to me, and let me know what questions you have for me. Okay. I think that should really make it good. Thank you for that. Very helpful.
no problem.
Yeah, I want to show you guys, like I said, we always do all this stuff with AI, building strategies and stuff. I want to show you because I've been working with videos and stuff lately, and like it's so interesting seeing what Codex and Claude Code can do with videos. They're like actually very, very good at it. But it takes some time to figure out kind of the details. You have to make sure you're using good models and whatever. But like once you figure that out, it could like really produce very, very good videos, you know? Okay, cool. So here's Polymarket. You're right. My shared prediction contract broker surface wording was bad. What I mean now, more precisely, Polymarket, Kalshi, Predicted, etc., should be separate brokers' data sources. The only thing that should be Lumibot asset type is prediction contract. Okay, US versus international, they are different APIs. Okay, wallet private key, API creds, possible relayer creds, API key ID. So yes, the international one has an API. It is just more complicated than normal broker API because it is a CLOB Web3 deposit wallet based. Polymarket US also has API docs. It is not app only from an API standpoint, but the docs say the account API key flow starts with iOS app and identity verification. Website is polymarket.us. Let's see if we can get that to work. Yeah, see, here's the problem. They force you to sign up through an iPhone. And the problem with an iPhone is it has a GPS on it. So I can't fake that I'm in the US. I have to like actually be in the US. So I think I'm gonna have to wait until I go to San Francisco in a few weeks. Okay. So I guess we could do Polymarket International for now, which I mean, you guys can use that too, right? Like that's actually the easier one to sign up to. And maybe it's the right thing to start with anyways. So tell me this, so I think we probably should start with the Polymarket International because literally I can't even do the Polymarket US right now because I'm not physically in the US currently. Um, if we build it for the international one, is it going to be easy to also build the US one? Are the APIs similar enough or what? Or is it going to be like a total rebuild from one to the other? And then here's the game plan, treat Polymarket, okay. Add only the minimal shared. And then in terms of your game plan, you don't need number one on your game plan. That is not a game plan item. That's not to-do list. Treating them separate, I agree with, but that's not a game plan item. The second thing here is to add only the minimal shared Louisbot domain support. Prediction contract, I agree with that. And then your third thing is build Polymarket first only if we're targeting the current polymarket.com account. This means CLOB token ID, CLOB order books, wallet signer, relay approval flow, and CLOB WebSockets. Okay. And then build Polymarket US separately. I know. Why is that number three on the items here? We need to break down how we're going to build Polymarket International in a lot of detail. Like we cannot build both. If they're different APIs, we need to pick one or the other. And I'm saying we should pick the international one first because that's a constraint right now. But hopefully it'll be easier to make Polymarket US later. This definitely should not be number four. We should not build Polymarket US as number four. We should stick to one and finish it and then move on to another one. And I want to know all the details of this. How exactly are you going to build this Polymarket International connection? How are you going to make the data source? What functions and methods is it going to have? What are you going to put into all those functions and methods? How is the broker going to work? Right? What are all the functions and methods you're going to have for the broker? And why? And how does that compare to Alpaca or Tradier? Right? I want to know all the details of exactly what classes you're going to make, what functions you're going to put, and all that kind of stuff. I want to know all the intricate details. Okay, and then you're saying you want to put the web sockets early before real trading. Patterns should be alpaca-like. Yeah. So again, how are these web sockets going to work exactly? You need to research this stuff a lot more detail. And then you're saying start with read-only proof, market discovery. Yeah, so that should be like testing. But what I would do is I would build out the basics, and then, like you said, add in read-only proof, add in the read-only functions. And then, like, I mean, I think first you need to get account value and positions and orders. I think you need to be able to get those first, build those functions, and then test whether that works, log in and all that kind of stuff. Or actually, I think login is probably the first thing we got to do and see if you can even just get the account value from the login. And then you can go out of that. Then we start doing things like can you get positions? Can you get orders? Can you place a trade? Can you get market data, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right, when you go one at a time. This is a very all over the place game plan. This is not very well detailed or thought through. And they're saying add limit order plus cancel. Only market orders, fast 5-minute crypto markets, and FAK behavior come later after tidy controlled tests. Okay, that's fine. I would start with market orders personally. Why do you want to start with a limit order? I would start with market order and then go from there. And then you're saying BotSpot comes after LumiBot proves the adapter. Yeah, and BotSpot comes way later, right? We'll do that later. Okay, and then in terms of questions, you're saying, do you want first implementation to target current polymarket.com international account, or should we verify Polymarket US access? I cannot get Polymarket US access right now. I've tried, I cannot get it. So it has to be Polymarket International, and that's all we're focused on right now. And then you're asking, can I inspect polymarket.com APIs and polymarket.us developer in the browser without creating copying secrets yet? Yeah, definitely. You could absolutely do that. You should do that now. You should research everything in detail first. And your third question is, if keys are created later, where should they live locally? Put them into a .env file on my computer or something like that, or you can use Bitwarden. I don't know. That's not a big deal. There's no money, no real money in there, so it's not like a big deal anyways. And then your fifth question, the fourth question is, are you comfortable with a local CLOB prototype that may require a wallet private key session signer? I don't know what the hell that means. What does that mean? What is a local only CLOB prototype that may require a wallet private key session signer? I mean, isn't that the only way that we could do this? Like, I don't fully understand what you're asking. And then your fifth question is, should the first trading proof use slower markets before 5-minute crypto markets? I don't think it matters. Like, why do you have to use slower markets first? Who cares? I think using a more liquid market probably makes more sense at the beginning. As long as we could place small bets at the beginning, I think that makes sense. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff to think through here. I don't like your game plan at all. It is all over the place. I need to understand exactly all the technical details of how you're going to do this. The way that I would approach it personally is I would probably get the API keys and stuff first. Then I'd build out the asset type and all the like regular plumbing of whatever we need. Then I'd build the Polymarket broker and data source stubs and fill in all the methods, even if they're not fully functional yet. I put in all those methods because there's required methods when you're making because you have to use what's it called? You're using the classes there and you're like inheriting from the classes or whatever. So you'd have to do that and you have to fill in all the functions or else it literally won't even work. And you have to make sure you follow the right structure and everything. And then I would start off with getting it to actually connect and log in and get account data. Can you get how much money I have in my account, my cash, and my account value, and whatever, like that's like the basic account value stuff, right? That all brokers have. And then I would start off with probably placing a trade because that's kind of the next thing we got to do. And I would start off with market orders, but then we could work with other types of orders. And then we could work on adding in getting positions, getting orders, and then all the other stuff. That's the way that I would go about doing this. I think that's a more reasonable game plan, which doesn't sound like it aligns at all with what you're doing. So please take your time, research everything in a lot of detail. There's still a lot more research you got to do here. And then give me a very well researched and detailed game plan and then let me know what questions you still have for me. Okay, and here's the AI trading team result. Okay, so it says you're right on leverage framing. For the leveraged variance, I would change the objective to fully invested leveraged ETF strategies, usually 3x, with 2x only as a risk down choice or when no good 3x expression exists. No regular ETF universe. Yes, that makes sense. That applies to both Ray and Citadel. What I found, the data tool situation is worse than just try it. Missing Gemini API key, easy fix. Heartbeat stall. BotSpot node has a 10-minute stale heartbeat watchdog for AI agent. External weight back tests. If bot manager still says back testing, but progress heartbeat stops, node marks it failed. This is orchestration watchdog behavior, not trading thesis failure. Okay, so I don't understand why we BotSpot node has a 10-minute stale hot heartbeat watchdog. That doesn't make any sense. And sometimes it takes longer than 10 minutes to for this thing to make a decision. So either we raise that from 10 minutes to like an hour or 30 minutes or something like that. But why do we even have a heartbeat? I don't understand.